This will be my 18th consecutive year covering the NBA Finals. LeBron James has clearly played in 10 of those. So I was not only covering it, I was there. I would say San Antonio Spurs.
The answer is incorrect. Hembo is so happy across the room. It was Dallas. It was the Mavericks, a series that they ultimately lost, the one time LeBron has ever lost as a favorite. And that obviously plays a long way into his legacy. And candidly, as these NBA Finals start, LeBron's legacy is the central conversation.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
It was the decision that changed the entire NBA. LeBron James, the best player in the world, leaving his hometown Cleveland Cavaliers for South Beach, creating a super team with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in the process, the likes of which we had perhaps never seen before. It seemed there were no limits on what they might accomplish as a trio.
Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5.
Well, not quite 3, 4, or 5. It was just 2 championships that LeBron won in Miami, and while he had some of his best seasons, one question seemed to persist. How much credit did LeBron deserve for those championships with that team? Ultimately, he went back home, back to the Cavs, blocking out any remaining doubters, defeating the ultimate super team in the record-setting Golden State Warriors for title number 3.
Cleveland! This is for you!
8 years after LeBron made his first decision to leave Cleveland, he did it again, this time leaving for LA.
LeBron James! LeBron James!
Now, as he prepares for his 10th finals, he stares down a familiar foe. His old coach, Eric Spoelstra, his old team, the Miami Heat, 4 wins away from number 4 as he approaches the back end of his career. Looking up at Kobe's 5 and Jordan's 6 rings, one question lingers. Will winning this one championship be enough to determine that this decision was the right one?
And I'm looking at my friend, Mr. Rose, who looks very eager to comment immediately. Jalen, the floor is yours. Your thoughts?
I'm so very excited about these NBA Finals, Greeny. We have so many terrific storylines, as you just acknowledged. LeBron James playing for the Miami Heat, and Eric Spoelstra now establishing himself as one of the, if not the best coaches in the NBA. This is going to be great theater. I'm just excited about tonight's start of the Finals.
Let's talk about LeBron's legacy here. Who would have thought that him trying to lead the Lakers to a championship would be low on the list of the storylines here? But LeBron, the GOAT conversation, which you and I have been engaged in forever. What do you think this would mean for his legacy if he wins this one this year?
It's going to be amazing for his legacy, and also for anybody that says you can't have a duality, fight for social justice, and still be elite at your craft and win a championship. That's what LeBron James is going to do this year. And it's going to further those conversations about who's the greatest basketball player of all time. And when people have these conversations, there are a lot of different ways you can go. You could go greatest, meaning dominant in your era. You could go lifetime achievement. You could go career stats. It's going to be a lot of people that didn't see Michael Jordan play, didn't see Bill Russell play, don't know about the skyhook and how unstoppable it was, probably didn't see Magic Johnson play. They're going to say when LeBron James wins this 4th championship that he's the greatest player to do it.
What are you going to say?
I'm going to say still got a few hurdles to jump over, and that's how this game works. As somebody that was born into the NBA family, Greeny, and that followed this league like my heartbeat, you know, these conversations mean a lot to me, and I know they mean a lot to LeBron, too. And when you start talking about the greatest of all time, let me just show you a level of dominance that Michael Jordan was able to achieve. He had 2 separate three-peats. How many three-peats have LeBron James had? He has not had one. That just shows you a level of dominance he had when he was at his apex. When you talk about him making 10 finals, Bill Russell has 11 championships in 13 seasons. I can't dismiss that. I was covering the Miami Heat in 2007 when Dwayne Wade led them to a championship, and I interviewed Bill Russell and had this same conversation. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know what he's accomplished in basketball, Greeny. So while LeBron James deserves for his era And everybody wants their era to be the best, and rightfully so. And for the youngins out there, it ain't hating when we disagree with you. It's called being somebody that saw both of them play and played against both of them. It's called schooling y'all. And I'm trying to tell you, when Michael Jordan lost, it was to the Showtime Lakers. It was to Larry Legend in the Boston Celtics. It was to the Bad Boys Pistons. 2 of those guys are in the top 10 of all time. Isaiah Thomas is in the top 15 of all time. Other than that, when Michael Jordan was in uniform, his team won the championship. And he won the Finals MVP. Like, that's elite level basketball and achievement. I could get into the first team All-NBA defense or how many scoring titles, because those exist also. But the bottom line is both of these players are so very amazing and have achieved so much. That's why it's a Mount Rushmore, because sometimes you can't just pick one. And so both of those guys are in the conversation. But Michael Jordan, in my opinion, has clearly distinguished himself as the all-time GOAT. And by the way, still has people waiting in line to buy his gym shoes 30 years after he retired.
There's no question. And look, I'm on your side of that. But that sound that you hear, Jalen, I think I hear it right now. All the people in Miami saying, why are you talking about this? He still has to win this series. So let's talk about these NBA Finals, and let's talk particularly about his matchup. I was talking about this on the radio yesterday. Jimmy Butler first became a star in this league because when he was in Chicago and LeBron was in Cleveland, Jimmy Butler gave LeBron James fits. How do you see that matchup in this series?
This is going to be a terrific matchup, Greeny. And LeBron James and Anthony Davis, while all NBA performers, and look at the trek of Pat Riley. If he's not coaching all-time greats like Magic and Kareem or Dwayne Wade and Shaq, this would be the type of team he would love to have in the NBA Finals. For Knicks fans, this is what he was trying to do for you guys before you let him get away and go to Miami. Get you a blue-collar team, develop from the develop in the draft, also get a cast of misfits. Goran Dragic is 35 years old, Greeny, almost averaging 20 in the NBA playoffs. How about Tyler Hero, the way he stepped out on the scene? And then Bam Adebayo, who was so very dominant up front against the Boston Celtics. Off the dribble, blocking shots to end games, dunking all over them, scoring the basketball. And then you enter Jimmy Butler, who has the personality and the mind state of the Miami culture. So now they have a go-to guy that's not a volume shooter. There's not a volume three-point shooter. Yes, there have been times where he scored in the teens and they still won. And if they're going to win the championship, it's going to have to be 25 or more. But Jimmy Butler's personality defensively and how he got it out of the mud is why when he played in Chicago and he was with Derrick Rose, he was with Joakim Noah, that was their identity. And so now you bring that full circle, leaving Chicago and not getting to his goals and going to a couple of other stops and now reinventing himself as a leader with a young squad. I'm loving this matchup, Greeny, the two best teams. And I can't talk about the finals without saying this. I'm disappointed in you, Los Angeles Clippers. I picked y'all to be there. I'm disappointed in you, Milwaukee Bucks, back-to-back reigning MVP Giannis. I picked y'all to be here. So I do believe that Miami's definitely ahead of schedule, the fourth worst win percentage of any team to be in the NBA Finals. We predicted, most people predicted it was either going to be the Lakers or the Clippers. I felt the Clippers could beat the Lakers. I didn't know they was going to get upset by the Nuggets, who you know I love, Greeny, and get Doc Rivers relieved of his duties. I didn't see that coming. But this NBA Finals is going to be great theater. Make sure everybody tunes in. LeBron will ultimately win it, but it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's going to be physical. It's going to be great skill. It's going to be Anthony Davis celebrating, getting his first opportunity as a championship, the biggest stage in basketball, and I'm excited to be there.
I'm with you, and I also believe that the Lakers are going to win. But let's talk about the other side of it. If you and I, a week and a half from now, are talking about how shocked we are that the Miami Heat emerged as the NBA champions, how will they have done it, Rostradamus? What will the Heat have done that means they won this series?
That means Bam is getting 25 plus 10 boards, plus 6 dimes, 2 blocks, 2 steals. That means Jimmy's getting 25, 6 and 7. couple of blocks, couple of steals. That means Tyler Hero continues to have those shotgun moments where he's getting 15 points in a quarter. And Goran Dragic is turning the pick and rolls, going left, either throwing it over the top to a lob and finishing. Crowder starts back making shots, which he struggled in the previous series from 3 against the Boston Celtics. If those things are able to happen and Eric Spoelstra is able to institute this zone, now watch this Miami Heat zone. We're going to be talking a lot about him. When you first heard about zone when you were in high school, it would be like Tyler Hero or Goran Dragic at the top, not the Miami Heat. It's Jimmy Butler, it's Crowder. You put those guys on the baseline so you protect them defensively and they become traps in the sideline and in the corner. And now Bam can become a rim protector. So the Miami zone, along with their 2 best players, and then you have a couple of wild cards coming in making plays. And I cannot forget a couple of things. Andre Iguodala is going to be in his 6th straight NBA Finals. He came on our show, Greeny. He held out at the beginning of the year for the right opportunity. The Miami Heat became that opportunity. Dion Waiters, going to get a ring anyway. Started the season with the Miami Heat, now with the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to get a ring. And lastly, Avery Bradley, who opted out of the bubble to be with his family as a member of the Los Angeles Lakers. His team has a chance to now deliver him a championship ring.
That's Jalen Rose, again, getting set for tonight. It should be fascinating. Jalen, thank you, and I will see you tomorrow morning as we look ahead to tonight's Game 1 of the NBA Finals, and it's on ABC. Coverage begins with Jalen and company. NBA Countdown, 8:30 Eastern, and that's followed by the Heat and the Lakers. Game 1, 9 Eastern. It's on ABC and on the ESPN app. Coming up, who's the best team in the NFL? Don't miss Ryan Clark's latest